Hey, you guys. How's things? Hope you guys are doing good. It's starting to cool off a little bit in Spokane. Not terribly, but I mean, it's 95 or so. Anyway, so I've been working my butt off, cutting and folding paper for all these journals I'm working on. And I kind of got to this point where I wanted to make something, I want to make some stuff to go in these journals. And I've been, as I'm sure a lot of you guys also are doing, just, useful paper stuff. Like I've been just putting all of this stuff into a little box, and I thought it would be kind of cool to use some of this stuff to make some writing boards for the journals. And as you guys probably know, I need to make quite a few. So I want to use a bunch of this stuff. So it's mostly just, like thicker, like chipboard type of paper, cracker boxes, the backs of, pads of paper, notebooks, stuff like that. I guess this is a piece of mat board, outshine bar boxes. I get this paper, I get these little paper pads or books, composition books at Office Depot, in case any of you guys are, it's got the like children's handwriting paper in it, So at the top it has like a blank section so they can draw a picture, and then it has the lines at the bottom. I get these at Office Depot, just saying. Anyway, so these are just the empty covers. Cracker box, we eat a lot of Triscuits and Wheat Thins, cereal, so cereal boxes. Obviously, if you shop at Costco, you wind up with all kinds of packaging. Anyway, so I want to use some of this stuff. And I really want to use some of the papers that Tracie and I put out recently. So what I did was, and I'll put a link in the description to both listings. There's half of it's in her shop and half of it's in my shop. So I took each image is a full page, right? But if you print them two to a page, you get smaller versions of those, right? So that's what I did. I printed these like a 5x7 size, and just the full page ones that come with the kits. Anyway, so I printed those out full, two to a page, and then I just cut them out. I printed these on like a real lightweight cardstock. So I want to use these as the front of the writing board. And in case you don't know what a writing board is, there may be other names for it, but basically it's just like a stiff card that you can put behind your page in your journal when you're writing, so that you have like a smooth surface to write on. And it's also nice as like a kind of like a bookmark or something too. Anyway, so I don't like to make these with, I like it to be something really smooth on the front at least, and then sometimes you can add some textural type of stuff on the back, but it's better to make it so it's very smooth, at least on the front. Anyway, so I thought these would be perfect for that. So basically all I'm going to do is just take these images and glue them onto this card, whatever pieces it'll fit on, and then we'll do some backing. So these, like this box, I don't know if this one will work because, so it's got this like crease in it. So, and I want them to all be pretty much that size. So I am going to make some smaller ones because I'm basically doing two different sizes of journals. Some of them are smaller, mostly the like the shorthand books, and then some of them are bigger, mostly like the children's readers and that kind of size. So this size will work for the larger journals, but I might print some of these smaller to make some smaller size writing boards for the smaller journals. Anyway, so I'm going to save this for that. But like these will work. Just going to sort through these. This one is a little bit thin, but I am going to be I'm going to be gluing an image on the front, and then I'm also going to do something on the back. So this might work, even though it's relatively thin. I'm going to keep it. The cracker box will definitely work. This will definitely work. More of that really thin chipboard from paper pads. I think this might be a little bit too thick. It's actually like, what do you call it? I said it before, mat board, and that's a little bit too thick, I think. So this one is too thin though. So this one's almost just like cardstock. So that one's a little bit too thin. This will work. That one will work. This is too thin. Let's tear this off. This was some kind of paper. I don't know. Anyway, so Triscuit boxes. Those are all good. The wheat thins. These are the larger. You know, when at Costco you get two bags of crackers in the box. So this is actually a little bit too heavy, I think. It's a little bit too thick, but I could definitely use it for something. But the Triscuit one is thinner, so this one should work. Actually, let me see. Sorry, I'm not extremely organized ever, but today especially. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so let's actually use this. Let's use this one since it's right here. Anyway, so I'm going to try to carefully just open that up. And so I know that my images will fit on these end pieces, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut those off. And then I'm going to cut these flaps off too, because we obviously don't need those. Yeah, but I'm going to save them just because I save that kind of stuff. Let's cut this apart. Make it a little bit easier to deal with. Okay. Cut these flaps off. And one more. Okay, so these I'm going to save and do something else with. So I'll have another pile of stuff to use some other time. Okay, so let's see. I printed now, since I printed these on cardstock, I'm not too worried about any of this image showing through. If you print like images, or even images out of books and stuff like that, you want to be careful that when you glue it down, that the paper is not so thin that the image kind of ghosts through, and you can actually see the word Triscuit on the front. So if that's the case, and you're using like a book page, like thin book pages or something, just use two pages, and that should do it, so you don't have that problem. But this is cardstock, so I think it's going to be okay. So I'm just going to glue this down using a glue stick. I'm going to be stitching it with the sewing machine too, so I'm not, whoops, I'm not relying completely on the glue. If I were relying completely on the glue, I would use something a little bit stronger, like maybe you know, art glitter glue or Aleene's tacky glue or something like that, or even the oh my god, it is so hard sometimes when you're making a video to remember what you're trying to say. The other glue, just some other glue. Let's see, what am I doing? I just love all of these images. They're so cool. And I love how they're, you know, kind of quirky and not completely on the page necessarily. So in case you're wondering, that paper, that digital paper kit is called Eclectica, and it came from basically like just all my collection of ephemera and, you know, different vintage papers and stuff that I've scanned over the years, and been just been sitting there in on my computer. And anyway, so decided to use them. Finally came up with a good way to use them. Let's see, let's find another one that'll, I love this. I love that image. This is just the back of a cabinet card. Glue sticks running out. And I have to say thank you to my amazing little glue fairy, Josie. She's been keeping me in glue sticks. And I really, really, really appreciate it. It's just the sweetest thing. Every once in a while, I go out to the I go out to the mailbox, and there's a package of glue from Amazon. It's really sweet. She definitely makes sure I don't run out of glue. I do go through a lot of glue sticks, I will say. Lots. And I have decided that this Amazon all-purpose glue stick it's definitely my favorite when it comes to glue sticks, for value and also for the quality of the glue. Let's see. Let's find another one. Let's do a pretty like floral one. And I mean, it doesn't have to fit exactly perfectly on there, you know. I mean, I might wind up trimming it just a little bit anyways, but no big deal. All right. Let's just glue. Let's just put two more. Since I have the box top, or the box here, I might as well do it. I have so much stuff pulled out for this project, you guys. I'm like surrounded by art supplies and stuff. Okay, let's do this one. And then let's do this little, oh, let's do the mushroom. Let's do the mushrooms. And then this little speller. No, let's do this map. Let's do the map and the speller. Okay? Okay. I don't have my glasses on. I like to try to make sure things are sort of upright. Yeah, that's right. So also, I don't know, I was thinking it might be kind of cool to take, I don't know, I'm trying to decide if I want to spray these like with a clear coat, or I was thinking it might be kind of cool to just put a sheet of acetate over them. So I might try that. I might try both options and see how I like it. Because I thought maybe if I use the acetate, I could put something kind of neat behind it or something. But then I thought, no, that wouldn't work because it would create little bumps when you're trying to write on it. So I don't know. I'll probably just wind up doing the clear coat, or maybe nothing, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So we've got the images glued down. Now I'm actually going to trim these out before I do any backing on them, because I was thinking it might be kind of cool to take, like, I want to just do some collage or something on there. And I was thinking it might be kind of cool to have some of those book pages like wrap around to the front a little bit. You know, you don't want too much because, like I said, it's, you know, it's a writing board and you want it to be smooth. So I don't know. Maybe just a little bit around the edges or something. Jimmy, what are you doing? Oh my God, you guys, my cats are so bad. They literally broke my brand new television. I bought this TV for my bedroom. I haven't had a television in my bedroom for a long time. I usually just use my laptop or something. And but during, you know, COVID, I was spending an awful lot of time at home and over the winter, and, you know, just not really going anywhere, and people weren't really coming over. And anyway, so I decided to break down and buy a TV for my room. So I bought this gigantic, like 55-inch smart TV for my room, so I didn't have to have a cable box in there. And it was too big where I wanted to have it mounted on the wall. It was too big to mount on the wall. And I mean, I have a big TV mounted on the wall, but it was just the positioning of it. It just wasn't going to work to mount it on the wall. Anyway, so I just had it on the little feet that came with the TV. And, you know, it's super skinny. Like, it's amazing how they make TVs now. Anyway, so it's just like on the feet of the, you know, on the TV on top of a dresser in my room. And of course, it's kind of like halfway in front of a window. And the cats used to just kind of run around, and they would go behind the TV and get up in the window. And anyway, so there's been these like little moths that keep getting in the house. And since they're little hunters, little house cat hunters, they're keeping the house clear of any moths that should happen to get in the house. And I think they probably were chasing a moth in my bedroom while I was out here working, and I heard this crash, 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 and then all three of the cats came running down the hallway into here, and yeah, they smashed my television. Needless to say, I was not very happy with them. So they didn't get any treats last night. Just saying. I know they probably don't understand any part of that, but I was pretty upset. Okay, so that's some of them. So I'm going to go through and, you know, glue the rest of these onto something. And then just on the back, I thought it would be cool to just do some really simple collage. And I also kind of wanted to talk to you guys about using what you already have, you know, and this is one of those things, like cracker boxes, cereal boxes, you know. I really, honestly, am not huge on digital stuff. I don't know. I just kind of prefer like the authentic thing, like the real thing, you know. That's just who I am. This is what I like. This is what I prefer. But with this kind of thing, it's like I love these images so much that really the only way to be able to use them over and over is, you know, digital. So anyway, so I'm just going to do some really simple collage just to cover the back of this, okay? And I'm just going to take relatively large pieces of book pages and some ledger and whatnot, just to cover it up, you know. Even though this doesn't necessarily bother me, this kind of craft color paper, but I like craft paper. Anyway, so see, I'm just going to have things kind of run off the edges. Not necessarily trying to keep everything. Let's see, where's the other little book? Oh, here we go. This is cool. So that can go right there. I'm not trying to make these super complicated. I'm going to have that just run off the edge just a little bit. Let's see, something for that corner. About another little piece of, let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Just kind of smearing out, wiping up the excess glue. And then I'm going to let this dry. Let's do a couple more. Make sure it's upright. Might as well use this piece on the other side. I'll just use it mostly. Oh, I know what else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So about that digital kit. So there have been one person, maybe there was two people, that were having issues with downloading their files. And I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about the WeTransfer thing that more and more people are starting to use as an option for downloading digital files through Etsy. And I just wanted to quickly tell you that the reason for using that, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of you already know. I've already told you, but maybe you didn't hear that or something. I don't know. So the reason for that, to use this like secondary sort of like hosting service like WeTransfer for those files, is so that a seller can offer, first of all, higher quality images that are actually larger files, okay? And they can offer those for sale, and a larger quantity of images in a listing, right? Like that, like, because this kit is literally like 60, I think it's 66 pages altogether. There is no way you could sell that like that on Etsy. It's just too much it's just too large of a file. There's too much, data involved with that. Like, it just won't work. They won't allow it. It's just too big. It's too large for their server, I mean, people that sell on Etsy, they pay 20 cents for each listing. And every time somebody sells a digital file, they pay another 20 cents to sell it again. Like, every time you buy one, as a customer, you pay whatever you pay for it. Etsy charges 20 cents to relist it for sale. So so basically Etsy is charging 20 cents, for storing those files on their server. So anyway, so that's the reason that WeTransfer is a really good option. So basically, when you purchase the listing, you would download. What you actually download is a PDF that contain. So you make your purchase. You either go to your email that you get from Etsy that says, here's your, a link to your file to download, or you can go back into your purchases on Etsy and you can click on the transaction or the item that you purchased, and then it'll say your items are ready for download. And so then you go and you click on that and you download. What you download is the PDF. It's basically just like a letter, and in that letter, in that letter are the links that you need to download your files. So, you make your purchase, you download the PDF, you open the PDF, and you click the links and download each file. And there's 4 files that you download. Now, what's in those files are the same images, but they're formatted in different sizes. One is an A4 size for, like, European size files or printers and paper, and the other is US size, like 8.5 by 11. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because there's been some, I don't know what to say it is, concern or confusion maybe, or I don't know what it is, but about why do we have to go to another website to download the files, and that's the reason. So I hope that helps. Anyway, so blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm just doing some really simple collage on the backs of these. Okay, let's just do one more really quickly. Could just do it. I mean, I don't even necessarily have to do like a whole collage thing. What I thought would be kind of cool also would be to just use some sheet music on the back. Just use some really pretty old sheet music. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to just glue this and those other ones like this. So I'm going to glue it up. Set it here. Jimmy, what are you doing, you goofball? Let's glue this one up. He's playing with those boxes that I put on the floor. I don't know what he's trying to do. Anyway, so stick those down. Let's see, the other one's not going to fit Hold on. I could do it. It doesn't matter if it's going the other direction, does it? It could be going that way. Yeah, why not? Okay. So I can fit 3 of these on one sheet of sheet music, one page of music out of that really cool music book I got from Renee. Thank you for sharing it with me, Renee. I love it. It's my favorite sheet music ever. Okay, so there. So just like that. Or, you know, you could use Ledger or just like a single book page on the back. Like you don't even have to, it doesn't have to be fancy. Okay. So I wanted to do multiples because I kind of was hoping that the first couple would dry enough for me to continue working with them on video. Okay. So I thought it would be kind of neat to maybe just fold some of these over like that. Maybe not all of them, but, you know, just a little bit. Just a tiny bit, and then I can trim the rest of it. I'm using these scissors, these Tonic Studio scissors, because they're excuse me, they're Teflon coated, so it's easy to wipe the glue off of them. Anyway, so like that, and then let's see. No, this is too brittle. This paper is just way too brittle to fold it over. That's okay. I have some other ideas. Things all stuck on my fingers. Okay, let's see if any of this would look cool folded over. No, that's okay. No big deal. Don't you have something else you could break, Jimmy? Oh, isn't there anything else you can go break? Okay, let's see. Let me just trim these really quick. He's literally just like scratching those. It's just like this little stack of those cereal boxes and stuff that's on the floor right here, and it's driving him crazy. Do want to make sure everything is really smooth though. Okay, that one, this one, it kind of, see how it didn't, you know, go all the way to the edge, but that's fine. So one of the things that is really nice about working on multiples of whatever is that, at least for me, is that, so I'm going to save those two little pieces. I don't get bogged down with the little details, you know, and I think that that's what happens a lot of times with people is they, at least that's what I hear from people, is they sort of get bogged down with making, with, you know, making decisions about where you're going to put things and where you're going to glue things and stuff like that. And and I feel like I would probably have the same problem if I were just working on one thing at a time. So that's part of the reason that I like to do multiples. I feel like it makes my work more fluid, like, you know, more spontaneous, you know. Anyway, okay. So I've got the backs covered. Some of them are collaged and some of them are just, you know, plain paper. This one needs something there. Anyway, so there's that. Let me move this tray of book pages. Oh my God, I have so much stuff out. All right, and then the other thing I wanted to do was make just some kind of really simple little, I don't know, do like a label or some kind of little image or something like that on the back of this. And so one of the things I thought that would work really well were those little stamps. Those, well, they're actually big stamps. These oversized label stamps that I got from Bob at Signet Stamps. I need a drink of water, guys. Hold on. Those aren't really going to work as a pocket or anything, but I thought it would be kind of nice to put some kind of a label or something on the back of these. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you guys another idea. So this is just ledger. Sticker paper. Okay, so I printed these on sticker paper. This is a, you know, digital paper that I got from Tracie a long time ago. I don't know if she has those available or not in her shop, but I'll look and see. Anyway, so what these are just book pages, like end papers from when I was taking apart all those books. You know, I pulled out some that were just kind of like grungy, you know, that had something interesting on them. Of course, I can't find the ones I use now, but you know what I mean? Like just pages like that where, you know, it's just maybe got some little marks or, you know, something. And I scanned those. Like, I think this is one of the ones I used. I don't know, like that one would be kind of cool. But anyway, so I just kind of wanted to mention that, you know, if you want something kind of just grungy, that's a good way to get it. If, you know, if you're not into Photoshop and you don't know how to use all that stuff like I don't, if you scan this and then say print a picture, you know, on your whatever kind of paper, and then feed it back into your printer and then print this over the top of it, you get like kind of like a grungy sort of look over your image, you know, without having to have a lot of skills in, you know, photo editing and all that. So like this is just this was just an end paper that I scanned and printed on sticker paper. And I just want to use it to stamp some labels on. And then actually accidentally had a piece of cardstock in there too. And then just another one of those papers from Tracie. And then this is just sticker paper that's like a craft color, you know, and I just printed that grid pattern on it. Take a piece of grid paper from wherever you find grid paper, scan it and print it, you know what I mean? Like, or there's all kinds of places where you can download free graph paper, and you can even make the squares whatever size you want, you know, and just print some grid over this, you know, the book page that you scanned. And that, I don't know, it just gives you kind of a cool page that you could use in your journals. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, you guys. Okay, so what I wanted to do was take some of these. So these are from Tracie, you know, little, I don't remember what the kit was, but she shared it with me at one point. Anyway, so I got these big stamps, and I will put a link in the description if anybody's interested in purchasing these. He cut out the centers of the rubber for me so that they didn't touch down like when I stamp it. Anyway, and I've been playing around with using the Distress Oxide inks with using these label stamps, and it's kind of cool because it's sort of opaque, you know, it's almost like using chalk ink, you know. Anyway, so I mounted my rubber stamps, these big oversized rubber label stamps. I just mounted them on the back of another rubber stamp. So anyway, but I like the Distress Oxide ink because it's sort of opaque, but you do have to let it dry. Like, it wouldn't even be a terrible idea to get out like your heat gun and dry it before you start trying to mess with it, you know. Anyway, so this one I'm gonna stamp this direction. And this is printed on sticker paper, so you can buy sticker paper on Amazon. I'll put a link, I guess, if you need me to, in the description, if I can remember, for this paper. I don't know how great it is. It says professional label sticker, so it must be phenomenal. I like that this particular one has that printed on the back because it's really hard to tell. I have some other sticker paper where it doesn't have that, and it's really hard to tell what side you're supposed to print on. Anyway, I printed on the wrong side lots of times. Anyway, so this Distress Oxide I was using is the Candied Apple. This is that same ink that I got in Happy Mail. Like, it's been a while, like a couple years, from Grace. And she was so awesome. She sent me, I think it was like 12 different Distress Oxide inks and the re-inkers. And I love them. I don't use them that much, but I do love them. Okay, so that's the Salty Ocean. I just wanted to show you guys how well the Distress Oxide inks work for this. And I think it's also kind of cool that, you know, you don't necessarily have to even ink all of it. You know, like you can kind of make it a little messy if you want to. And I don't have any foam under this. And doesn't bother me. See, I think it looks kind of cool when it sort of misses just a little bit. Anyway, just to sort of grunge it a little bit. You do want to wipe the stamps off after using the distress inks though, because it will just kind of stay there. Anyway. So that's the salty ocean, and there's the candied apple, and then let's do a couple with the black soot. See how those turn out. Oh, there's fuzz in there. Let's do one more this size because it'll fit there. That one's too big. There. Okay, so I just have to let these dry. This one's pretty dry. But the thing about using the distress inks is that if you wet them, if you get them wet, they're gonna bleed. They're gonna bleed a little bit. As far as I know, like, I mean, they might not if you dry them with a heat gun. I'm not a professional with the distress ink, so I don't know. But I'm thinking that, you know, if I use my baby wipe and kind of went over it, I'm pretty sure it's gonna smear. Anyway, so that was one thing I wanted to do on the backs of these, is just do some kind of little label. Let me cut one of these out. Actually, a big label. And I wanted to do some, like a couple with just like an image or something. Obviously, you don't have to do this on sticker paper. Like you could stamp them on anything. It doesn't matter. I just happen to have the sticker paper, and I thought, oh well, I'll just print some of those cool ledger paper things that Tracie did and stamp some stamps over it. So since I'm not using glue and it's sticker paper, I'm not gonna wipe it with my baby wipe like I normally do. Just going to put it down here in the corner. There. There, all better. Okay. Just, you know, simple. And then on the front, I wanted to do, the other thing I was saving when I was tearing apart all those books was all of the stuff from the spines, like all these little pieces of, you know, like the fabric stuff, you know, the book binding material. Anyway, so I wanted to use some of that on these writing boards. I just thought it would be kind of neat, you know. Give some cool texture and stuff. Actually, something else first. Since I've got all of this stupid washi tape that that I never use anymore, I want to try to use it. I want to try to use washi tape. So, hang on a second. You know what? I'm going to just going to do a little bit of layering over here. Just a little. Okay, so I'm going to put this little strip. This is where it gets time consuming, right? Which is fine because this is the fun part. Okay, See, I really don't want to have a bunch of texture, but I'm probably ruining this writing board. Now it's just turning into a big tag. Just want it to be right on the edge though. Okay, then where's the washi? I was keeping washi tape that I used all the time just on a piece of ribbon, you know, so I didn't have to go searching for them all the time. I just kind of had them all at the ready. But I forget to like re-stick it down and they get all messy. Anyway, okay. So let's put a little piece of washi tape right here. I always add glue when I'm using washi because it'll eventually just peel up. See if my glue is working. Okay, it is. So this is art glitter glue in here. All right, so I'm just going to glue this little strip top of here. Hopefully this will work. I have not experimented, I have not experimented anymore with that tear mender glue that I showed you guys a little while ago. You know what, that needs to come off the side a little bit. There. Anyway, I haven't experimented with that glue much, but see, I think either side you could probably, I'm sure you could write on that. Anyway, just a little bit of decoration, you know. Trying to keep whatever I add to this really out on this edge or at the very top, so that it doesn't get in the way when you're writing. I mean, you can always put it under your page this direction too, so you have like this whole space where there's nothing to, you know, to make bumps when you're writing. Or this way, if you just have like a small area on your page that you can write on, you can just insert this behind that page, you know, and just watch out for that stuff. Anyway, or you could use the back too. I mean, that is pretty smooth. So, okay, so that's basically what I'm going to do on all of these writing boards. Okay, I'm just going to do some kind of little, very small little embellishments on either this side, because this is how I want it to go in the book, and this will be the front, this will be the back. I want to do either like a label or maybe one of the little pieces of ephemera that came with that, that are in that Eclectica kit. Okay, so like Tracie made just some really cool little label shapes. This one has grid paper printed on the back, but you know, it could even just be like a little pocket. Like it could just, you know, glue this, not on this one, but like maybe on this one. Just glue it right here on those two sides, and it could just be like a little thin pocket that you could just put a tag in, you know, and then you'd still have your writing board on the front. That's really what I want to do, is just make like small little pockets on the back of the writing boards, you know. Anyway, and then I'm just going to do some stitching around the edges with the sewing machine, probably do a little bit of zigzag. And then once these are dry, I can't do it yet because I haven't done the stitching yet, but then I'll probably just add like an eyelet, maybe one in the corner with a little charm or something like that. You know, maybe even tie a little bit of fabric on there and just make it cool. You know, maybe I'll do a part 2 on these once I get them all kind of to this point. I know I've really only done one with you guys, but you get the idea what I'm doing. In case anybody cares what I'm doing. I always feel like I want to share what I'm doing, you know, like you're here in my space with me. Anyway, so I'll pretty much get them all to the same point. I need to count and see how many I need to make also. But I've reused a bunch of cereal boxes and chipboard pieces that, you know, they've just been kind of hanging around. And this is a good use for them, I think, because it's a nice weight. It's not too heavy, you know. Anyway, and then I will also decide what I'm going to do about the acetate. I'm going to spray 1 or 2 of these and see how they come out. And then if I do wind up spraying them, I will definitely show you what I'm using to spray them. If I wind up putting acetate over it, I'll show you that too. But I just need to play with that and see. And this is almost an hour now. So we'll just see what happens with that. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. Anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate you watching and all of your positive feedback. And if you have any questions, well, any feedback is good feedback, but you know, positive is always better. Anyway, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I will try to answer them in the next video. And if you really need to get a hold of me and you mean it, send me an email. I'll put my email address in the description. So, okay. All right, guys. Love you. Bye for now.